Previously on Kirby's Garage.
So anyway, that's my review of this Bauer, and I'm going to give her 5 stars. Well, maybe 4 stars. I wish they would have put the switch somewhere where you could reach it while you're holding it up. But when I come up with my hack, you guys will be the first to know. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Glad you're here. Promise is made, promise is kept. I told you when I did a review on this Bauer vacuum cleaner that I had to give it 4 stars because I don't like the placement of the switch. Can't reach it. And I think I came up with a solution to the position. And today we're going to find out if it's going to work or not. I've got the idea. I've got the things I need. And we're going to go from there and see if it works. So stay tuned. Well, let's get started. Thomas Edison said, I didn't fail 1,000 times to make a light bulb. It just took me 1,000 steps. And that's the process I've been going through with this switch situation. Anyway, I think I come up with the solution. I tried several different ways to try to manipulate the switch with some kind of mechanical apparatus that's convoluted and confusing. And I said to myself, self, what are you trying to accomplish? I don't need to manipulate the switch. I just need to disconnect the battery when I want to switch it off. So I came up with a secondary switch. You can buy these on Amazon for about $6 for a pack of 10 of them. The spades didn't come with it. I put those spades on there because we're fixing to put it all together. And then I also made a switch holder with a hole in it. And we'll find out what that hole's for here later. But the switch fits just perfectly in there. Just like that. And it'll push all the way down. So that's how far I've gotten so far. But let's put this all together. Like I said, my solution is to disconnect the battery from the switch with a secondary switch. So in the interest of saving time, I took all the screws out except for one. We're going to pull this off. And let me make a disclaimer right now. Disclaimer. You do this at your own risk. I'm not advocating that anybody try this on their own. If it voids your warranty, I'm not responsible. I'm hoping that I can do this to where if something does happen to it, I can just take that switch off and they'll never know the difference. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Pull that screw out of there because I know for sure it'll drop out and then we'll get it lost. Okay, and that's what it looks like. We've got a red wire, a yellow wire, and a black wire. Let's see if I can flip this up better. The black wire is ground. This is 20 volt DC. That means it requires a ground for it to work. So we're going to use that switch to interrupt the ground. That's my idea. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is take this little zip tie off it so the wires are separated. The other two, I don't think I'll need to disconnect the other two, but this one here, and of course, the battery's out. Don't do this with the battery in it. That's probably, I'm gonna splice it right here in the middle. Here we go. It's now or never. Too late now. We're gonna do it. All right. Gonna strip some insulation off these wires. Like that. And right there. Okay, now I've got another piece of wire that's going to go from the battery up to the switch on top. So we're going to take this wire for now, and we've got to have two wires, one going from the switch, one coming back to the battery. So we're just going to split these two wires in half. And again, we'll take the stripper. Okay, one more, and we'll have all our wires stripped. Okay. Now the first thing we're going to do, let's move this out of the way. First thing we're going to do is connect these two. And I forgot my crimper. Be right back. I do my best to make sure I've got everything I need to make these videos, and it just every time there's something I forget. Every time. But I guess that's Murphy's Law, right? We're going to use some shrink wrap to insulate those wires. So I want to put that, let's put the wire on first on this side. And we need that right there. Maybe while I'm doing this, I'll play some music. I'm going to take the crimpers and crimp it. Make sure I'm on the right size. Okay, I'm going to use it a little bit big because I actually want to cover that bare metal. So we're going to cut a piece of this off. Let's say about there, maybe an inch. Take it this way. I want to put it right over the top. I'll put it right over the top of that, so that's covered, just like that. And we'll take our heat gun. I'm not too worried about the wire part. I just want to make sure that that bare metal on the spade bit is covered. Okay. And that's what we have right there. Okay, we're going to do the other wire. If I can find it, there it is. I'll use that other spade bit. I made this end a little bit too long, so we're going to cut this off just a little bit. I like to make it about 1/4 inch. That seems to be a good size for putting these connectors on. All right, and we'll crimp it. We'll take another piece of shrink. And we'll put that down this wire. Grab the heat gun. Okay, step one is done. Now we can hook these to this. And hook this one to this side. Just like that. I think that'll work. Once the switch is in there, I don't think we'll have any problems with pulling out. On this side, we got to take a coupler like this, and these are already got heat shrink on them, and we're going to connect one side. We're going to connect one wire to this side, one wire to that side. That way this switch breaks that connection. Just like that. We'll crimp it. Make sure you crimp both sides. Test it, make sure it's in there good. Now this side here didn't crimp very well. I think I got it too close to the middle. Let's move it down a little bit if we can. That feels good. Take the heat gun. This is actually kind of risky because I don't know if there's transistors on that motor or not, or if it just goes directly to the motor. But we're not going to use any more heat than we absolutely have to, because the heat could damage any kind of electronics or something that might be inside. So we're just going to do it real quick. Don't get it too close. We don't want it to get too hot. Okay, we'll call that good. Like I said, I don't want to put too much heat on this because we're not sure what's inside that. All right, there's the other. We'll put this one on here. Crimp it down. I'd say within a probably 1/16 of an inch from the edge of that metal when I crimp it. I always like to test it, make sure it's on there good. And then we'll take this one here and do the same. We're going to cut a little bit of this off. I got a little bit too long. Like that. Okay, that looks good. This one is not too important because this is what this side of the wire is going to the battery, and there's no battery in there. There's nothing else, so we don't have to worry about the heat too much on this side. Okay, let's bench test it. Let's stick a battery in it and see if it works. And it turns off. It didn't turn back on. Didn't work. Well, you know what, guys? I do not accept defeat that easily. I thought about this overnight, and I started thinking, so the black wire didn't work, big deal. I still got 2 more wires to choose from. So I tried it on the yellow wire, same result. Tried it on the red wire, and it works. Victory is at hand. Anyway, I didn't tape it because I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I didn't want to drag this video all out and then at the end still fail. So, but what I did do is I spliced the black wire back together, spliced the yellow wire back together, and added the switch to the red wire. I then used a piece of foam, like from this kind of stuff. You see these in shops. I have a bunch of this crap out in the shed. And I took it, let me use this. I took it and I split it down the middle and then cut out a piece the same size as the opening up here on the battery box or battery compartment. And then I cut a little groove in that foam and put the wires through there. That way I didn't have to cut the plastic here to fit the wires through it. Now the 2 top screws aren't in all the way because I don't want to pinch these wires. But that foam gives me a little opening right there, and I'm not right tight up against this plastic. And I think it's going to work. So our next step is going to be this. This is what our switch is going to mount to. So our next step, I already know this works, so I'm going to clean it up a little bit, sand it, and we're going to paint it black because I don't want this looking like this on it. Once I get this painted, we'll go to the next step and get this thing mounted, and I think I got her licked. Looks good. Let's get her painted. We'll let that dry for a little while before we do the other side. Okay, we'll go on to our next step. I did make some changes. This foam piece that I made, it didn't work. I was still, you can see where I put the groove in it for the wiring. But the problem is it was still pinching on the outside edge here. So instead, let's see, I loosened the 2 screws up until the wire was loose, not tight, not sloppy, but just so where I could move it in and out. And then I put some electrical tape to cover up the seam, and then took hot glue, and I put hot glue around it. And I think that'll work much better. The bottom screws are nice and tight. The top screws are still a little bit loose to accommodate for that wire. But that was my solution to that. We got the switch painted, switch plate painted, and we're fixing to put that on now. The switch plate is going to go in here, just like that. And the way we're going to attach that is that little hole I told you guys we were going to find out what that little hole was for. Well, this is what the little hole's for. I'm just going to put it right through there with a zip tie and attach it to the handle with a zip tie. And we'll get that zip tie nice and tight so it can't come loose on us, and turn around and then pinch it off. There. And that is not going to go anywhere. It's on there. That's plenty enough to make the switch work. So anyway, that was my, I guess I could probably just put another one right here too to hold it. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I think that'll work good. Now for the wiring, we're going to use some of these little wire keepers. I don't know if you can see it or not. This camera's probably not focused. That's what we're going to use to attach this wire to the top base. The first thing we need to do is put some alcohol on there and clean that plastic up to get all the oils and contamination that might be on that plastic, so we get a good stick. And we'll put just a little bit of alcohol on here, and we're just going to clean it up best we can. Let that dry for a minute. I lost the cap to my alcohol, so I had to put a piece of tape on it. Okay, let's take one of these. We're going to put one right here. If I can get it open. Make sure both wires are in there where they need to be. Okay, I think we got it. Lock it in place. Just like that. We're probably going to use 3 of them. Before I stick them down here, I'm going to put all 3 of them on and make it easier because it gives me more slack in the wire to do it. Okay, we are ready to go. My hot glue didn't hold. May have to do something else there, but I'll do that off camera. We're ready. Let's put the battery in it and give it one last test. I can pick it up, and I've got it. And that's what it looks like close up. Like I said, so that's straight. to satisfy my OCD, I may put another zip tie right there. I think that would work. But anyway, that is my hack to the vacuum cleaner. Told you I would come up with something, and I usually do when I put my mind to it. Anyway, please subscribe, like, and share this video, and leave a comment, please. Let me know how I'm doing. I am working on getting better camera equipment. I've already bought a DJI mini mic, so I've got good, constant, and quality audio. So anyway, good luck on your projects, and we'll see you next time.